Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Beauty day, it's a Friday, and I want to diagnose my gaming computer. As you may have known, I mentioned it on a previous vlog where the old gaming computer kind of shit the bed in a power failure. Now, I'm looking in there and I'm going, oh my god, there is so much dust. I'm almost tempted to disconnect everything, bring it out to the garage, and blast it with the air compressor. And I do believe that is what we're gonna do. So let's get out there, blast out some dust. Now, I have a feeling the part that died is actually the power supply. And the reason why I say that is, I know the reset button on this computer works pretty good. Only reason why I know that is because I used it multiple times. The system crashed and I hit the reset button, and surprisingly enough, guys, some computers still have reset buttons. Who knew? Let me get this all disconnected, we'll head out to the garage. Oh, barbecue, you're such a great freaking case holder. Anyway, I gotta set my compressor up for cleaning mode. And get this, whoa, that sunlight. Get this bay door open because we're going to throw some serious dust. Like, honestly, I don't think I've cleaned this thing out since I moved it to the new location. This is going to set off my asthma like a mother frigger. All right, let's get blasting here. Holy crap! When you spin these fans, I don't know if you guys can see the LED over there because you're covered in dust. But when you spin these fans, oh, that's not doing it. The light lights up. Oh God. Alright, well that was thoroughly disgusting. But we got most of the dust out of it. Holy crap, did you see when I hit that? You probably didn't see it, but when I hit that heatsink back there, the cloud of dander that shot out of it was intense. Anyway, this here is a, what is it? A rock soul? What the hell's a rock soul? I bet you it is dead. But it is a 600 watt power supply. I don't know why. This is a what case? A CyberPower PC, yeah. It's a Corsair case. Doesn't Corsair make power supplies? Why wouldn't they use their own brand? Or am I wrong on that? I'm probably wrong on that. I've been out of the what hardware is what games for forever. All right, I'm gonna bring this back into the house, and then we're gonna test the power supply because I don't think I have a D-sub cable out here. I threw out a bunch of them. Let me see if I have one out here. Maybe I do. If I do, we'll just do it right here on the bench. That way there, if my testing goes south and I gotta throw it down, I can just throw it on the pavement and let it burn. I do have one out here. It's actually attached to this old monitor, I bet. No, it's not. I'm dying. I need an allergy pill. Remember those COVID masks? Yeah, that would have been a good time to wear one. It's not like we all don't have 50,000 of those kicking around the house still. I'm real thankful that Nikki gave me some for my truck of the black disposable ones from Costco, because I had to go do my taxes tonight. And even though there's no mask mandate in effect, certain businesses can actually mandate that you wear a mask on prem. And my tax guy totally had mask required on his door. So, and I walked in there with no mask, and he's like, oh, you need a mask to come in. But I don't get it because he wasn't wearing one, so that's freaking odd. Anyway, enough ranting. I don't have a D-sub out here. We'll take it back in the house and we'll test it in there on the floor because that's comfortable. All right, guys, I had the worst friggin' allergy attack when I came back in the house. Are we hot? Yeah. So I basically popped a couple of these bad boys, and then Nikki called, so we chatted for a bit, and then she's like, I need to go out and get something for supper. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to go out and get something for supper too. I'm like, but I don't know what. Then I decided on Dairy Queen. You're probably thinking, Adam, you had a Blizzard for supper? No. Dairy Queen serves burgers and onion rings, and their onion rings are awesome. Their burgers, the one I had was the cheeseburger mushroom burger. Anyway, it had like 2 patties on it, some cheese, mushrooms. So freaking nice. And yeah, so I had that. The drive helped get the allergies under control, and then eating really helped. So that's pretty sweet. And now I feel great. So now we're going to go back and we're going to test out that power supply. So for testing a power supply, guys, I used to do this back in the day. I actually made a power supply into a dedicated 5-volt rail for doing electronics. What you need to do is we're going to come down here at the computer level here, and with the power supply unplugged and turned off, you grab your 20/24 pin connector, and you're looking for a green wire, which is going to be on this side. Now the green wire is this one. Anyway, it's the one that's like right here, my finger's touching it. That's your power on switch, and the black one beside it is a ground. So what you need to do, find the green. Green's going into this prod right here, which is this prod right here, and you short that. Of course, I could be using better wire for this. And then you send the other end directly to ground, and then just kind of leave that out of the way here. You plug in your power supply, and then when I throw the switch, wait, how can the computer power up? That makes no sense. Oh, because everything else is still plugged in. Okay, so the power supply works. Interesting. So it's got to be my switches that are acting up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug you back in here, then plug you back in here, and then kick you over. Oh, did I hook up a power switch? Are you the reset switch or the power switch? You are the reset switch. I figured the power switch on this thing was pretty mangled, but so is the reset switch. So maybe the board's leads are broken. Where the hell did that piece of wire go that I pulled out? I just put that down here. I'm going to try. So back here on the main board, down here you got these 9 pins. Those 2 right there are the power switch. Those 2 there are the reset switch. This one's hard drive light, and that one there is power light. I could give 2 shits about the lights. I just need this thing to power up. So what I'm going to do is take my piece of wire. We're going to come down here and we're going to try and short those pins, because they don't leave much room for the headers, because they did some serious cable management on this thing. Can I like not hold the camera, because I totally have you guys on a tripod? Aim you down a lot and see if I can short those pins with this piece of wire. Do I have a screwdriver? Preferably one that conducts. Where's my friggin' iFixit kit? That'd be useful right about now. Did I leave that over here on this desk when I was iFixing something? Or did I actually put it away like a good boy? Oh, I was a good boy. All right, let's grab the iFixit kit with the widest freaking flathead I own. Man, I'm still kind of wheezy. And let's see. She will not turn on from the main board, and I don't freaking know why. Is the main board shot? It could very well be. I don't see any score marks on it. Where is the CMOS reset? Should look that up. Because maybe that's all she needs is a quick CMOS reset, and she'll be happy and off to the races. Everything's pretty much labeled on this board. I'm wondering if the CMOS reset's sitting underneath the video card. The battery's right there. Normally it's near the battery. Normally. I could just pull the battery, then reseat it. I wonder what that one pin off by its lonesome is. Let me show you the actual wiring diagram for that. So there you go. So it shows like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is empty. So there you go. There's the specs. So 1 and 2 are power LED or power light emitting diode positive. 3 and 4 are the negatives. 5 and 7 are the reset switches. And 6 and 8 is the power switch. So 6 and 8 would be these two on top, and they're not working. So now we might be dealing with a dead motherboard. That's not what I really wanted to deal with. Ah, shit. Well, we can try something, because even with a blown video card, it should power up and post. It's not doing that. So what can we do to drive power? Well, if it's not turning on, that means the circuit's shot, and that's very problematic. So this entire system might be fried. Now we do have 16 gigs worth of DDR4 in it, but it's slow RAM. It's like 2400. Oh no, it's 2166, because really it didn't matter putting 3200 in there, 2400 or 2166 or 1866. It would not affect anything on the Core i7 6700. RAM speed wouldn't do anything. So I just went with what was cheap. And that's what I ended up with. Now, even if the RAM was shot, it would still boot and post. And we get a code that the RAM is shot. Or if it was the video card problem, it would boot and post video card problem. If it was a processor problem, it would boot and post the processor problem. Like, whatever the case. I have a feeling the entire power system on the board is shot. Because I know the switch was giving me troubles at one time, because you remember I was hammering on it and then all of a sudden it turned on. And that's because there's probably a whole bunch of residue in there making the momentary contact switch no longer momentary or contact. So I'm not 100% certain what to do here. So we're without a gaming computer for the time being, which means no gaming streams. But you probably noticed a couple games of balloons. I might try and do a series on Project Zomboid. Luckily, the editing computer can play those games no problem. The editing computer has the 1600X with a 1060 in it. Worst case Ontario, I ripped the 1070 out of there and pop it in here too. And we have the 1070 on board, which is a way better card by like a lot. And then I can use that 1060 in something else. I don't know. I don't really have anything else. So yeah, not quite sure what to freaking do in this situation, because I don't really want to run out and buy a new gaming computer anytime soon. Like I said, when summer's here, it's the least amount of gaming I do. I don't really game much in the summer. Gaming is a fall thing for me. So probably just going to leave it at that. And then next fall, I'll pick up a new gaming computer. Fall, winter. Because, like I say, thank God my friggin' saves for Red Dead Redemption are stored on the server, because I really don't want to have to go through all that single-player campaign. Mind you, I screwed up a lot being aggressive. And I missed out on a bunch of gold bars being aggressive. Because I was super aggressive and I killed that one group at that cabin. That was kind of funny. I don't know if you've seen that. Everybody in the chat was yelling at me like, Adam, you shouldn't have done that. Should have followed through with the storyline. You could have got like $1,000 in gold bars. Whoops. But here's the thing, guys, about that computer. The only thing I paid for was the RAM upgrade and the GeForce 1070. Back in 2015, I ordered a GeForce 960 GTX, I think it is, or 960 GT. I don't know. It was an old card. It's around here somewhere. It's over there on the wall. So I ordered a 960 GTX to put in the XPS 8300 so that I could play Grand Theft Auto on it. Because we were all going over to Grand Theft Auto on PC. Well, we were all playing Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation 4, but the PC version was better because I just liked it better. So everybody, I tried it on like a 550, and the playing at 12 frames per second was just abysmal. And then I decided to, that's when I got laid off from work. And I'm like, well, seeing I'm going to be doing YouTube for a couple months until I find another job, we're going to do a lot of gaming. So I figured, frig it, we'll get a 960. And that way there, I couldn't justify buying a new computer because I did the research. An i7 6700 isn't that much greater than an i7 2600K. They're both clocked fairly high. Like, what's a 2600K get? You know what? I'll just look it up. So you look at the benchmarks here, and literally the 6700K is 9% faster overall. 18% a higher score. Literally, frames of memory is 0.1 faster. The one core performance, okay, it's 121 points over 99.8. So it's around 21% faster across on the 1 core, 2 core, and 4 core test. But I'm looking at it going, 6700 isn't really that much of an upgrade. And then I was like, well, then I looked at the i5s because everybody was saying if you're making a gaming computer, get an i5. They're way better. Doesn't sound right, eh? Because an i5 is 4 cores, 0 threads. i7 is 4 cores, 8 threads. But a lot of video games are single core operations, so they shut down the other 3 cores. But with an i7, it can't shut down the threads. It runs that single core in dual thread, but only one thread's getting data. So apparently it causes a bit of an issue, where the i5 doesn't have that issue. So you can actually get more out of an i5 for gaming, not productivity, than you can an i7. i7, all the way productivity. You're video editing, you're using CAD software, you're using graphics software, get an i7 or an i9, whatever. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll just get myself a better video card. The 550 Ti that I had was pretty much garbage. Like, it was great first time when I bought it back in 2010, because that computer came with like an ATI, the XPS 8300. Came with an ATI 6450. It played Minecraft okay. That was about it. I tried Farming Simulator on it. It shit the bed hard. And I was like, okay, that's not going to work. So then I put the 550 in it, and game changer. I was able to play all the games that I previously played on Skivinz Games. Minecraft, Terraria. We played a lot of Farming Sim. Played a lot of Minecraft and Farming Sim. We even played Mafia on that, and Mafia ran fine. We did a lot of different games on there. And I ran that card from like 2010 up until the end of 2015 on that system, and she held her own. So I ordered the 960, figured, it's 4 generations newer than the 550. Got good scores. A lot of people said it's a great gaming card for like mid-range. The 970 was too much. Like, that card there, the 960 at the time was like $400. So I was like, that's a good price point to pay. I'll grab that, and threw it in the machine. And that was my plan. Throw it in the machine and game. Well, little did I know, when the friggin' delivery guy showed up, he had a package and then he had a box. And I was like, had to come back and check my manifest. Like, did I order a computer case? What the hell's in the box? And then I opened it up on camera because I was like, what the hell is this? And then I saw this Corsair case, and I'm like, why did I get a computer case? I never ordered a computer case. And then I opened it up and went, holy shit, this isn't a computer case. This is a computer. So I got on the horn. Well, I emailed Newegg, and I told them that they baffed my order, that I ordered a video card, and for some reason the delivery guy dropped off a video card and a computer, and it wasn't on my manifest if I had to pay for it, or if they wanted me to ship it back. And they literally told me, they said, well, don't worry about it, just keep it. It was a delivery error, and we don't want you paying the shipping to send it back. And I said, well, I wasn't going to pay the shipping. I was going to get you guys to pay that, because you guys are the ones who screwed up the friggin' order. And they told me, no, just keep it. So when the computer came in, it was an i7. So I had no idea. Like, I was like, well, we can keep it, so let's plug it in and see what the heck we got, because you can't really pop the side panel off and look at the friggin' chipset cooler and go, oh yeah, the CPU cooler says Intel, so we knew it was an Intel. But we had no idea what the heck was underneath that cooler. i7 6700, i5 6500, Intel Celeron, whatever the hell they had back in 2015. We hooked it up, and it was an i7 6700K. 8 gigs of RAM, and it was some shitty RAM. A ATI 380, or ATI, no, it was, at that time it was AMD 380. It was an 8 gig card, but it was problematic. It was kind of a RMA from the get-go. And then it also had an SSD with the OS on it. and a 1 terabyte hard drive for all your data. No NVMe, none of that. The SSD was the traditional SSD. So I hooked it up on this desk here and fired it up, and I was like, holy crap, this thing is mint. Played Minecraft on it for a bit, and that's when I ran into problems with it, and I was like, okay, so this can't play Minecraft. There was a problem with the AMD card running Direct3D. You had to run it in OpenGL mode, so when I put it in OpenGL mode, it was happy, but Direct3D was just causing problems. Then I could play Minecraft again. I was like, all right on. Sorry if I'm wheezing on the video, guys. I'm still affected by that blowout. God, that was bad. Back to my story. So later on, when I started working at the call center, NVIDIA dropped their new 10 series line, the 1070, 1080, and the 1080Ti. Did the Ti come out then? I can't remember now. But they didn't have the 1060s out yet. They were waiting for those. So people bought the 1070s and 1080s first. Then later on, they came out with the 1050 and the 1060s. And the 1060s were kind of weird. Like there was a 3 gigabyte model and a 6 gigabyte model. Both of them had the 192 bit memory bus. The reason why I went with the 1070 is because it had the full 256 bit memory bus. And I figured that'd be more than enough card for that computer. And it was. It ran great up until the power got knocked out last week, did some damage. Now, I'm not going to scrap that computer because I'm going to try some different stuff still to see if I can get it to go. I'm going to do some research. Maybe there's something I can do, but I have a bad feeling that the VRM shot on it, and it's a cheap board. I looked up that H10 board, and I believe I priced out all the components of the computer after looking it up on Newegg and realized that whoever ordered that computer literally only saved like $50, and the computer sold for like $980. So a lot of the money went into the 380 and the processor because the board was only an $80 motherboard, which I hate. Like if I build a computer from scratch, I will not go any lower than a bill 50 on a motherboard because you go cheap and you get no reliability. You get thin PCB, you get cross overlaid printed circuits that send off distortion. Like you just get a lot of nonsense. It's shitty VRM, so you get dirty power going to your processor. You get not properly cooled components. Like when I bought, and I learned my lesson from that FX60. I bought the bundle kit for the FX60. Came with an FX60 processor. It came with 4 gigs of RAM, which was a lot at the time, which is like, you had 4 gigs of RAM, you were the king of your block. And, it had 2 gigs of RAM, sorry. And it came with a motherboard from, who made that board? It was Elite Group, but the board was like their budget board. It was this cheap, shitty board for like $49.99. Once again, micro ATX, tiny little goofy thing, and the North Bridge was passively cooled, and you can't do that. They don't really use north-south bridges anymore. Now it's all maintained by the bus because the direct memory access is everywhere. But back then you had your North Bridge, which managed the northern part, like your direct memory access, your SMB buses, all that fun stuff. Then you had your South Bridge, which handled all like inputs from hard drives, serial ports, USB, and all that shit. You didn't really need to worry about the South Bridge being cool, but that North Bridge handled a lot of stuff, and she got friggin' toasty hot. And I remember it got so toasty hot that the thermal paste holding the friggin' heatsink on let go and fry the entire system, because you don't buy a $50 motherboard and expect reliability. Could I buy another motherboard for it? Sure. Should I do that? No. It's a 6700 from friggin' 7 years ago. I think it's paid its dues. For a gaming rig, I was thinking of getting something like 5600 from Ryzen, basically the bigger brother to what I got in this editing rig. Or I was thinking about getting something and putting the video card in this and using the 1600 as the gaming rig and using the newer one for video editing, because then I can finally edit 4K video, because I can't do that with this thing. She chunks. She can't handle it. She's too weak. Anyway, guys, I went out to the beer store tonight and I grabbed a case of beer, and you're not going to believe the stuff I grabbed. Check this out. James Ready changed their bottles, their labels. I didn't even know this. Like, it's been such a long time since I bought JR, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some James Ready and see if it tastes as good as it did back then. Cheers. And that it does. Holy shit. Still cheap as hell, which is awesome compared to the... I bought a case of Corona. Like I said, Nikki was supposed to come down today, but she got kind of schwendangled by a company. She's I've told you guys in the past she's starting a dip line, like for dips. And she has 2 companies interested, but the one company was supposed to come today to pick it up. And they kind of got into a situation with their truck. The cooler truck wasn't cooling, or I don't know. The truck was having some major malfunctions. And rather than telling her that this was happening, they kind of left her dangling till 7 o'clock tonight and then told her they can't come till tomorrow because they got to get the refrigeration truck fixed. So she literally waited around all day for that. But she's coming up tomorrow. So the original plan was tonight we were going to do beers and a burn. So I bought a 2 for a Corona because that's all she drinks for beer. I didn't want to dip into that tonight. So I just went to the beer store and grabbed the 12 pack of James. I'm not going to drink all 12 tonight because then tomorrow I'll be puking and that's no fun. Figured I might as well have some sauce tonight. I was kind of hoping to get the gaming rig up and running, and then I was going to do a live stream of Red Dead, but, well, we're KO'd until we get a new gaming computer. Not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. You're probably all saying, Adam, instead of that laptop, you should have bought a gaming computer, and you're probably right, but, well, hindsight's only 20/20, and like I said, good weather's coming. Once that hits, I won't be in the house gaming. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I'll be out there freaking fishing and other things and stuff. Like, I have no intentions on sitting in this house gaming when I can be at the lake until like 9:30, 10 casting and catching fish. Like, that's where the fun's going to begin. But anyway, guys, so if you have any input on that board and the fact that she won't jump the start or anything at all, like I said, I'm not scrapping the rig. It's definitely, I'm not going to put money into it because, like I said, the only things I bought on there was the 1070 and the 16 gigs of RAM. Everything else, that showed up one day at my door in 2015. So for what I paid, it's done pretty good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below the going on. Until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.